there's more and more success stories coming out of Hamburg as a location. If you look back, of course, you've got those businesses like About You, Jimdo, Zing, I guess Free Now as well, or My Taxi as it was. I think Airbnb, their first office was in Hamburg. And of course, you've now got Facebook, Microsoft, Twitter, all of these businesses, seeing Hamburg as a location to build.
But Adam, it's a no-brainer. There's so much rain in Hamburg. There's nothing to do but build companies.
Exactly, and that's probably why over here in the UK, it's just the same thing. But why do you think? Hamburg, for me, when it comes to talking to these people and the conversations, the business starters, the developers and the engineers of the market, it's always Berlin-based conversations that I'm having. Berlin is seen as the tech hub. It's seen as the tech capital of Germany. But as more and more success stories come out of Hamburg, do you see the tide changing? Do you see Hamburg becoming more of a centralized tech hub, specifically in Germany? And do you see it becoming more attractive to potential business owners that are looking at building companies in Germany?
Yeah, I believe there's some real big advantages that Hamburg has, for example, over Berlin. So Hamburg has a smaller startup ecosystem compared to Berlin. This is why it's much better, I believe, interconnected. So if you talk to Hamburg Invest, if you talk to Chamber of Commerce, Innovations- und Förderbank, Hamburg, and other entities within Hamburg, they're really good interconnected. So you are guided as a startup to found your business there. So that's good for the start to get some support, and Hamburg is doing this because they want to create jobs in Hamburg, of course, in the tech space. So I believe that it's really good setup to have a smaller but really good interconnected startup ecosystem there. I think it will become even better if we get more accelerators and more VCs in Hamburg. And the reason why I believe more startups are still registered in Berlin is because there's more capital. So I think where Hamburg could be better is and having more capital in Hamburg to found business or to finance businesses. But I mean, in general, the whole gaming industry, I think in Hamburg is like 4,000 staff, just like with InnoGames and others. You mentioned retail, About You, My Taxi, Wunder, and mobility is big, but also fintechs. I believe Deposit Solution is on its way to become a unicorn. Exporo is there, so there are also fintechs in Hamburg. So I believe it will get even better once there's more capital in Hamburg. I believe, the universities in Hamburg are maybe not known, Hamburg is not a metropole known for computer science, so there are 3 universities, or 2 actually, and one way can't even do your master, but there are 2 universities. Maybe there could be more investment on that side, but the TU Harburg, for example, is also very good, so you get really educated people. However, in every larger city there is fight for talent, also in Hamburg, but definitely the upsides, and Hamburg was always an international city because of the harbor, so English is not a problem. Berlin is still better, but also English is good in Hamburg because of it being a trade city.
I think the reason that Berlin has such an international attraction is because of that international culture, and I think that to follow in in those footsteps, Hamburg is certainly seen to be similar, I think, in that respect. Traditionally I find that the further south in Germany you go, the more German it becomes. So I think the more international locations, North Germany, Hamburg, Berlin, certainly would have the attraction. And of course, then what that enables you to have as well is the ability to reach out to, all of the talent across Europe as well. Talent that isn't necessarily English speaking, is English speaking, but wouldn't have access to German speaking opportunities, and that gives you as business owners the chance to speak to these people as well.
Which is, by the way, my case.
Of course.
And moving to Berlin 2 years ago, I remember just after I came here, there was a statistic that came out saying that Berlin has the most diverse workforce in IT in the world. And I don't recall exactly the numbers, but it was like 46% in Silicon Valley are non-natives.
Yeah.
And in Berlin, it was 48% or 49%, something like this. And that's pretty crazy when you think about it, right? So 1 in 2 people working in tech in Berlin is not German. And I can only speak for myself, of course, but moving to Germany has been such a nice experience, and everyone was so accommodating. And in Berlin and in Hamburg as well, going there, everyone speaks English, is very nice. They want to find ways to work together, and that is super, super cool. And I think this is one of the things that I could imagine would be very important for Germany moving forward in the next years to continue to attract talent.
Yeah, agreed. The developers that I speak to, more so now, are considering Hamburg to be a real business opportunity. I think 2 years ago, it was certainly overlooked and overshadowed, probably would be the better word, by Berlin. And as you mentioned, I guess quantity-wise, there are more software companies in Berlin, but density-wise, actually, it's quite similar. There's around 2,500 listed businesses in Hamburg, or the head offices are in Hamburg, shall we say, and around 30% of those, in one way or another, have tech or software incorporated into their business model. So, they would be the sort of business that would hire an internal tech team, for example. There is more. So there's around 5,700 companies in Berlin listed. So, of course, almost double or over double. But it's still around the same percentage. It's still around 30% of those that would have, the tech teams. So in some respects, it's actually, probably more promising to move or to look into Hamburg because of that. There's less competition out there as an investor or even as a business owner, but you have the kind of same density as well.
And I would add one personal aspect to this, or note to this. It is, in my opinion, Hamburg, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And I've been places, and I can say it is, as a place to live, it is absolutely gorgeous. Too bad it only has 4 minutes of sunshine every year. But it is just absolutely a gorgeous place to be. Yeah, I really love it every time I go there. I like it so much.
I think in a few years' time, we're really going to be, I think, in a conversation where there's going to be so many more success stories coming out of Hamburg. And as we mentioned, maybe that is what it takes. You mentioned Deposit Solutions. They're on their way to kind of hitting that unicorn status. And I think at that point, so many people might turn around and say, well, if they can do it, why can't we? Similarly to About You, all these e-commerce platforms that might then look to Hamburg as a location. They might do it more so because there's so many already well-established companies in Berlin that actually it would be quite intimidating to try and build a company in an area, with so many other I guess competitors or potential competitors. So I for one certainly think that Hamburg itself, will take a step in the right direction and move towards that status as a tech hub.